Black Panther review. You asked for it, you got it. I'm Johnny Massacre and welcome to my channel. Let's get to it, shall we? Black fucking Panther. Right. Starts off very well. The movie sets up the story nicely. There's a big fucking meteor. It's made of vibranium. It's the strongest substance known to man. It's stronger than adamantium. It doesn't say that, but I know it is because nerds told me. So it's made of vibranium, the same shit Captain America's motherfucking shield is made out of. It crashes into this place in Africa, this fictional place called Wakanda. Great fucking name, so easy to remember. Sounds like a real African country. It's just a great name, Wakanda. And it's like this super duper fucking element that can do fucking anything. Now, this is a totally cliched science fiction, basically an ex machina. There's some alien element that can literally do anything. I wish there was some limits on the power of vibranium. Literally, this one fucking element like creates these like hyperloop trains that flow through the city, creates these like insane weapons that can do anything, heals people. I mean, it literally can do fucking anything. So then the film basically starts off, it goes to 1992, and in fucking California, and it's like all these black kids playing basketball, listening to a hip hop song. Which fucking hip hop producer would you fucking play in California in 1992? Fucking Dr. Dre and fucking Snoop Dogg, and they played like the most random shitty like fucking hip hop song I've ever fucking heard. What a missed opportunity. You guys got no taste. And I saw the Black Panther soundtrack went to #1. Well, fuck me. I guess if people are just gonna buy that shit anyways when there's no good music in it, you don't have to fucking license Dr. Dre. What a missed opportunity that was. So then it's like the plot of this movie is fucking confusing. So this is what's happening, right? Like the king of Wakanda, his brother is not in Wakanda. He's fucked off to the real world in California, like, and then he's selling vibranium weapons or something to motherfuckers over there. So the king goes over there to confront him, and his sidekick, like this, his brother who's bad, his sidekick is like, there's a plot twist right at the beginning of the movie. He's like, yeah, like does this, and like they have this blue shit on their lips if they're from Wakanda, and he's like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm from Wakanda. And his mate, which is the evil brother, is like, what? You're from Wakanda? It's like, what the fuck? Already you're making these weird, like, unnecessary, like, plot twists. So that was a bit weird. Now, the next, basically, he dies, and I think you saw the dad, the king of Wakanda dies, and I think you've already seen him die in the Avengers or some shit. Like, he gets blown up in this, like, United Nations building. I'm certain that's been in like a Marvel movie before. So he's dead. And that means his son, who's the prince, is the heir to the throne. And that's the main character. Can't remember his name because he's the most uninteresting pussy ever. He just walks around like this the whole time. Saying good things to his girlfriend and good things to the people. And oh no, what's that? And I'm a little bit angry. He's so like, he's got no fucking emotion, this guy, at all. And he's the Black Panther. Have you seen what panthers do? They're fucking, those are the dirtiest animals. Apparently they'll hunt you for days, and the muscle in those fucking things. This guy's got to be a fucking ruthless motherfucking badass. And he's not. With a name like Black Panther, you got to be the man. Black Panther, you're going up against people like Batman, who's got a black fucking suit, who's like the blackest of the black. And you got to come harder than Batman. He's not even 10% of fucking Batman. So he has to assume the throne. Now, the fucking people of Wakanda, for people who are so advanced, they've got the most primitive fucking system ever. Do you know how you become the fucking king? You fucking kill him. Like, it's the most savage thing ever. So it's weird because the film has, you know, respects like a lot of African culture as far as I can see. The way they dance, the way they dress, the way they talk, the kind of items they have, and some of the buildings and stuff. So it's like this fusion of and respect for old culture mixed with this hyper-futuristic stuff. A bit like Japan today. Japan still has wooden temples and all that crap, and you eat with like 2 pieces of fucking wood as opposed to this advanced knife and fork. But they mix that old shit with this new like high-rise skyscrapers and good technologies, and that's kind of what Wakanda's supposed to be. But the Japanese don't fucking seppuku anymore, which is when you fucking kill yourself when you like forget to clear away the dishes out of shame. But in Wakanda they fucking do. So they have this savage way of becoming king where you have to murder the king. That's fucking... Do you know who else does that? Is the dark side in Star Wars, which is the most savage shit ever. So like, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna let some guy become the king based purely on his fighting ability and brute force. That's the main quality you need to become a king of this ultra civilized nation. How fucking weird and twisted is that? So like the main character, he has a fight with this guy called like M'Baku or something, and he wins, of course, and he spares the guy's life or whatever, and then he's just so unlikable. Like, I don't like, and the action scenes are so badly done. The fight scenes, you can't see what the fuck's going on. Like in the lead up to that, there's this scene at night, and there's no lighting at all on their face. It's like a tiny bit of lighting, and I can just imagine the self-indulgent lighting director being like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna make this the darkest fucking film ever, but still have a little bit of light from my reflective fucking whatever he's holding. But you can't see what's going on, and this sense of kind of disarray and confusion and kind of lack of clarity continues into the fight scenes. Like they're fighting. It's just fucking jump cutting everywhere. The camera's moving around. You can't see what the fuck's going on. And when this fight's going on, it's so weird. Like all the people of Wakanda, like the main character's mum and shit, they're all on this cliff face. These like sheer cliff face. It's kind of as the cliff goes up, it leans back, and it's kind of almost like tiered like that. But there's hardly any space for him to stand on, and they're all perfectly aligned over this cliff. It's like, what the fuck is going on, man? So, but then there's like a guy in it called Wakabi who's like, seems to be one of the mates of the lead character, and I quite liked him. His acting was all right. And then we go back to England, and there's like some English stereotype woman from my fucking country, like with red hair, and there's this like American bloke, and it turns out like he's basically the son of the evil brother that was like killed by the king, who was killed in the fucking United Nations by a bomb in the other Avengers movie. So he's the son, but you don't know he's the son yet, and he's in this museum, and he's like talking to the bird, and he's like, yeah, like, what's this? I'm like, what's that? Like typical like kind of like brash American in England, like kind of fucking tearing shit up on the alpha male. And then he basically kills the woman, and then Andy, I think it's called Andy Serkis, I'm going to call him Andy, the guy who was in Lord of the Rings who played Gollum, he turns up. Best fucking character in the movie. He reminds me of the bad guy in that movie directed by Blomkamp that was like kind of crap with like Matt Damon in. And Andy Serkis is the best fucking character. He's a bad guy, he's big, he's dirty, he's tattooed, he's full of character, he's really engaging. When he turns up, it's like, fuck, at least something's happening now. And the dude who's like the son of the bad guy who's dead, he like steals this fucking vibranium hammer, and then they're like, we're gonna fucking sell this shit. It's like, okay, so the movie should have started there, basically, in the museum. You didn't need all that fucking nonsense at all. Like, really, what has happened? What has fucking happened? I've seen the lead character win a fight and become the king with all this fucking crap. That's all that's happened. And oh, his dad died, by the way. Okay, great. That is, you know, and his dad's like a force ghost, and like he goes to see him in his dreams and shit. I don't fucking know. And so then they go to do this deal in North Korea because wow, it looks pretty with like fucking North Korean neon and shit. And at this point, I thought, oh, it's not going to be that basic. These Andy and fucking son of bad dead brother are going to sell this shit in Korea, and how the fuck the Wakanda found out about it, I don't know, but like one of the birds is just like, yeah, look, this is happening, okay. So you think if the movie was shit, then the Wakanda dudes would go there and foil the deal and like capture the guy. But that's never exactly what happens, is it? It's always a setup. Like the bad guy is kind of at least he's tricking the good guys to come there so we can get them to do something. But actually, that's exactly what happens. They do the deal for the vibranium. The fucking Wakandan dudes show up, fuck shit up, and they capture the guy. It's like, you just said you were going to do that, and now it happened, and there's nothing interesting here at all. So they fucking got the guy in a jail, like Andy Serkis or whatever. And yeah, it's all too easy basically. And then you meet this dude called Ross, who's part of the deal. He's like some fucking agent or something, and he's like the token white guy of this movie, I guess. You used to have the token black guy, but now he's a token white guy. And the movie's kind of like, it could have gone more SJW. It could have made the white guy like all out for himself, but actually the black people don't trust him. So, and then he saves like the life of like one of the birds. So that was like, oh, okay. So you're not gonna like make all white people out to be evil. So like, again, there's some parts of this movie, even though it's quite SJW, it's being a little bit sensible. So I was like, oh, okay. So that was all right. But then there's like, they call him white boy. I was like, what the fuck? So there's like kids watching this movie, and you're basically saying it's okay to like call someone by their color. That's what you're saying to them. So it's like, okay. So then like when there's a black kid, I'll be like, all right, black boy. It's like, what? Why would you put that in the movie? You just tried to say like, okay, we're all the same, right? Because the white dude's in the movie, but he saves the black person's life. So it's like, this isn't going to be a fucking race thing. But then you call him white boy. It's like, what the fuck? And there's also like, oh, you colonizer or something. It's like, okay, so you're going to bring like the colonizer shit into it. But like the guy wasn't a colonizer. Like he's been like punished for something that ended like 6 generations ago that he had nothing to do with. And you want to fucking go down that route. So it's like, it's almost SJW-ism like cannibalizing itself. Like it's gone so far now that even now they're worried about offending white people's feelings, and like so they put a bit of like snide shit in where it's like, oh fucking white boy, blah blah blah. But actually no, you're all right. It's like what? It's a bit confused. And then like, so the white boy's like fucked up and his back's broken because he was trying to save the Wakanda woman, and then they fucking heal him with like vibranium. It's like, well, what the fuck can't vibranium do? It's just this big ex machina. What's so interesting about it if it doesn't have any limitations? Fuck's sake, man. You need to have some boundaries. You need to have some rules. Okay, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the Black Panther CGI is so fucking bad. Like, it's a $200 million film, and it looks like it was on a PlayStation, not the PlayStation Pro, the first generation fucking PlayStation 4. Seriously, it's so bad. Like, it doesn't look even remotely good. And his suit is so shit. Like, the design looks fucking awful. And the way it goes on, it should have some cool sound effects. Like, it just like goes over him like some fucking jelly. And it doesn't look cool at all. There's nothing good about the suit. And it's like, he's fucking invincible. The more you hit him, the suit starts glowing purple. And it means like it's absorbing more energy. So you're basically like ripping off the Hulk. And like bullets are flying off him. Knives are like flying off him. And like sometimes he stumbles and he gets hit and he takes off the mask. Why are you taking it off? You're invincible. You're only more powerful the more they hit you. So there's no sense of danger in any of the fucking scenes. I'm never worried he's gonna die. There's no tension. There's no drama. There's no stakes. There's nothing at all. And not only that, I don't give a fuck about any of these damn characters. Like, then the kind of the dude, like the son, he's called fucking, what's he called? Like fucking, what's he fucking called? Killmonger. The guy like steals the fucking hammer and shit at the beginning. He's like not even he's barely in the movie. And then suddenly towards the end of the movie, he's like, oh, like now I'm going to be in the movie, guys. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, you haven't done anything, right? So it's like, oh, by the way, I'm like part of your bloodline, so I can challenge you for the throne. And it's like, no one's fucking there. None of the people who you never see anyways really in Wakanda, none of the people know what's going on. But you've come in there, you've bowled in, and you're like, I'm part of the bloodline, so now you have to let me challenge you to be the leader of Wakanda. How fucking stupid is this? He's in handcuffs, and the main character's like, okay, let him challenge. Why would you do that? He's obviously a bad guy. He's obviously an evil psychopath. And he's already in chains. You've already incarcerated him. And no one even knows a fucking about it. So why the fuck would you release him and let him challenge you for your fucking throne? Because if he wins, he's just going to fucking murder everyone. And that's exactly what fucking happens. I could not understand that at all. And it just shows you how fucked up the Wakandan society is. Like, just some random twat, because he's bigger and stronger than you, is now the leader of your whole fucking system. How did you get this far with such a like primitive culture? Jesus Christ. It's insane. So this random fucking dude like beats this guy. He doesn't wear his Black Panther suit. It's like, you're so fucking virtuous, aren't you? And he throws him down a fucking waterfall, so he disappears. And then it's like, he's starting loads of shit, and then these weird flowers, and you eat the fucking flower, and then you have a vision of your dad. So you go see his dad, and then it's just like, I don't give a fuck. There's all these different characters and people. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't understand these flowers. Like, it's like he got his Black Panther power from eating the flower. Does it run out or some shit? And they're constantly growing it and feeding it to him. So can anyone be a fucking Black Panther? And then he fucking burns it. It's like, okay, all right, anyways. Enough of that shit. So then, and then like the best character, Andy, he's like dead. Like that guy, the son of the bad brothers, killed him. So he killed off the main good character. So, okay, you killed off the best character in the film. And then, yeah, when he gets thrown off the waterfall, I was happy because I wasn't invested in this character at all. What had he done? What was ever at stake? Nothing. He lost his dad in the last movie. You didn't even see his dad die in this one. You saw a little cutscene, but that's about it. So I didn't give a shit about the main character. So when he got thrown off a waterfall, I was like, oh, thank God for that. He's fucked off. Because I don't care about this dude. Someone I don't care about killing someone I don't care about. So, yeah. Basically, also, the film is too fucking colourful. Whoever's colour graded it, colour grading is in post-production. They use this software and they go in and change the colours. It's the most colourful fucking, it looks like a fucking pantomime, for fuck's sake. It's too fucking colourful. And then at the end, they all have a massive battle. And just before that, like the dude who like challenged the leader for his throne at the beginning of the movie, who lost, because his life was spared, he found the dude that was thrown down a waterfall and took him in. And they're like barbarians, and suddenly they're all right, it's cool, like, okay. So then he brings the guy back to fucking life with the flowers. There's no danger, nothing bad can happen. Oh man, well that was so fucking, how much tension was there? And you know, when the main character dies, like nearly halfway through the movie, you know he's come back anyway. There's like no tension in this film at all. And so they meet this barbarian guy, and now he's all right. And then so he brings him back to life, but he says, the king says, or the ex-king is like, can you join forces with us? Because this wanker's like come and now he's taken over our kingdom. Because we just let any old twat fucking who rolls up at our door have a fight with us and take over a whole nation. And also his loyal aides were like, okay, fuck it, we'll just follow this guy. But the barbarian bloke, M'Baku, whatever his name is, he was like, no, sorry, I'm not coming with you, mate. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen later. He's going to come back at the last minute, just like in Lord of the fucking Rings, doing those big battle scenes. And then during that, this is how you know the film is fucking shit. The dialogue, right? When the writers can't even, they're under such fucking strict instructions to make the film this cookie cutter for the mass market because of the $200 million budget. They have to fucking laugh at their own shitty script. So the white guy's like, I'm coming with you. The worst cliche in action movie history is, I'm coming with you. And he says that. And then the fucking, they're in a huddle, and the huddle kind of moves a bit, and the barbarian M'Baku, whatever his fucking name is, bloke, is like, are you guys done yet? So he's basically saying, this script is fucking shit, and we kind of want you to know that what we're writing is a piece of shit, and actually we don't really want to write this, so we're going to kind of make a parody and make fun of it. I mean, fuck, what a fucking mess. What a mess. Is it funny? Is it parody? Is it, I mean, is it, what is it? I don't care. So then they go back and have this massive battle, and they're the people of Wakanda, who are now like bad guys because they're following the bad guy, their main form of military transport are fucking rhinos. Are these massive fucking CGI fucking rhinos. The most advanced civilization on the fucking planet rides rhinos into battle. The same civilization that created Andy Serkis's fucking crazy hand arm that comes apart with this crazy, unlimited, powerful technology. Ride fucking rhinos with vibranium fucking horns when they could build like tanks that could fly that were invisible, and they have fucking rhinos. Why the fuck would you have a fucking rhino and not some kind of tank or something? Oh, because we're going to play into like the African culture. No, because once you stop riding a fucking rhino and you've got a car, you don't need the fucking rhino anymore, for fuck's sake. What was that all about? And who's watching this movie going, oh, this is like the greatest movie of all time with the fucking rhinos? Also, like the bird, or the sister of the king, she's basically Q from James Bond. Like, she's got this fucking laboratory, but it's all fucking weird with like, I don't know. Anyways, so that shit happens, and then of course like the main guy has a fight, and then it's like the main guy and the kind of the son, what's he fucking called, Killmonger, the son of the evil brother. He's such a cunt in it. Like, he's such a cunt in this movie. He does nothing good. Like, fucks over everyone. He shows no remorse. There's nothing to be redeemed at all. There's 0%. But then when he's dying, the guy's like, oh, I can fucking heal you with this vibranium. Okay, so like no one can die basically once you're in Wakanda. Why are you even fighting it? Okay, so then he can be healed, but he's like, no, I don't want to heal. Like, I don't. And then he says something about slavery, like, about slaves on ships jumping off because they don't want to be in bondage. And that's a very kind of powerful thing to talk about. I mean, it's sad, like, thinking there were like slaves on ships who were committing suicide because they didn't want to become a slave. But like, he's a complete cunt, this guy. He does nothing that's good. And then at the end he says, oh, I'd rather like die as a free man, basically, than like die in bondage. But like, we disagree with you because you're the bad guy, so we're supposed to disagree with everything you say. So like, you needed to give that character some form of redemption or some likable qualities in order to be on his side when he's talking about this monologue about slavery, but you're not. Like, what? Seriously, guys. So then at the end, it's like, we're kind of like, okay, yeah, we're gonna fucking make an outreach center in California. Okay, so like, it's setting up the next film. It's going to be in the city and shit, more. And then it's like, he makes a UN appearance, the king, and the UN are kind of being all smug and shit. And there weren't any snarky comments like before, but from some of the characters. But yeah, they decide to go into the real world, basically for no reason at all. They're living in utopia. Why the fuck would you go out of there? He says basically you don't want to have barriers. You don't want to have barriers. You want to have bridges, which is true. Like, again, it's like there are these like flickers of sensible messages in the film, which is true. But you're still going to keep your barriers and like not open the barriers to the outside world. I don't know. So there were some humble parts of this movie on the SJW front, which was a little bit refreshing to see, because it wasn't full on SJW like wankfest, but there's like talking about immigration and stuff, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect the film, so fair play to them for that. Everyone's going to put their own like life and story and politics into the movie. If you're a writer, you're just going to do that. That didn't really take away from the film for me that much. But the thing which was shit is, it was just so fucking boring. There was like hardly any action scenes, and the action scenes that were there, we just couldn't see what was going on. They weren't exciting. The CGI was god awful. I tell you, one of the worst things about the CGI was there was so much CGI of people where they use a 3D model and a motion capture. That always looks terrible. I look at Batman with his grappling hook in like Justice League or whatever it was, and Spider-Man, pretty much most of those movies, whenever it's a guy with motion capture, your eyes cannot be deceived. It looks like what it is, some 3D fucking guy walking around. There's so much of that in this film. Like, the final battle is they're falling down the fucking vibranium mine shaft, and it is the worst motion capture I've ever seen in a movie. And the fact they spent that much money on it is just shocking. Like, people should lose their jobs over that shit. How, please people, like, if you like this movie, fair enough, but like, just wake up. Like, how can you pump money into like studios like this that are churning out shitty I just fucking punched my nuts, I'm getting so pissed off. Shitty low quality CGI. How can you support that? Because you're gonna get more and more and more of it. It looks terrible. What's wrong with people? They look there like, oh, this is like so exciting. It is not. And at the end there's like some train and shit. Like, tell me one memorable line from this movie. Tell me, that can be difficult, even if it's a good movie. Tell me one memorable scene. One fucking memorable scene. There is none. Zeros. All you're going to remember is this fucking rhino running around. Seriously. Like, Batman, memorable scene. First one, him training in the monastery. Second one, Joker and fucking Batman, interrogation room. Compare that interrogation room to this fucking movie. No fucking comparison. The third Batman, when he fights Bane in that pit. In this movie, there's like nothing at all. Fucking hell, man. So Black Panther is... It's not a terrible film. It's just so fucking boring. And other than the storyline, which is slightly original because it features African culture, it's no different from Avatar. Exactly the same. Another fucking planet, another world, Wakanda. Vibranium, unobtainium. It can do anything, it can do anything. And it's the same fucking story. There's nothing new there. As for the superhero, what is new about the Black fucking Panther? All he does is jump around. He's got some little claws. He's like Wolverine Light. What is new about him? Nothing. He absorbs energy, just like the Hulk. It gets and can fucking redistribute it, whatever. Pretty much along those fucking lines. What is good about the fucking his superpowers or that superhero interesting? What's good about his suit? It's like a discount Batman with some fucking teeth around his neck. In this fucking film, they have so little regard for the fucking suit. They kick it on the fucking ground. There's a point where it should be the ultimate explanation, an exciting scene where the fucking king's bird or sister introduces the suit in the laboratory. And when they do that in Batman, it's like this hallowed fucking suit. Like, it's just in its chamber and it's dark and it's got all the shit and like utility belt and all that crap everywhere. And they explain it. In this one, she goes, punch it. He fucking kicks it and it flies across the room like a fucking toy car on the fucking floor. That's how little respect the fucking screenwriters have for their own fucking suit. So then, right from the beginning, the suit is like shat on. They made it look like this fucking piece of shit. Oh my god. And also, there's like no explanation for the suit at all. Do you remember how good the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy was? Because they set up the universe and the world and the context and the rules so well, and everything else just played off that, just kind of branched out like tributaries into the rest of the story. You know, Batman, he was some kind of like hard dude anyways. He fucking went out into the fucking wilderness in a monastery where he was trained by ninjas, and it showed the whole process. How did he get his suit? He's a fucking rich billionaire, and he has like a tech part of his corporation which is also gets funded for military research and stuff, and so they can kind of develop military technology under some shadowy umbrella that people don't know about. Explains the different carbon fiber parts, how some parts of the suit are from, you know, different military testing sites and so on. The Black Panther suit is like what? It's just a piece of fucking plastic in the main character's sister's fucking weird, like half colourful, half technological basement. It's, who gives a fuck about that suit? There's no explanation. There's nothing cool about it. What about his claws? What about any of that stuff? Nothing. What is good about the graphics? What is good about the dialogue? What is good at, like, there's literally nothing in this film at all that is groundbreaking. Nothing at all. Zero. And you're fucking reviewing it like it's this groundbreaking fucking film. I'm sorry, but it's not. And that is that. If you enjoyed this rant, please like and subscribe. I'm a music producer, rapper and DJ living in Tokyo, Japan. So if you help me make it, you're going to get more of these rants. See you on the next one.